Do you realize what Democrats are planning to do to Donald Trump if they take the House back in November? I am not typically someone who takes pleasure at the pain of others, but I absolutely love this. Democrats are not necessarily planning to impeach Donald Trump immediately. They are planning something that is probably going to be even worse for Donald Trump, which is a broad investigation into the companies, the financial firms, the donors, contractors, and all of the foreign money surrounding Donald Trump and his administration. Now, I know some of you are saying, oh, this stuff again, it's not going to leave. Let's talk about what they're planning. Then let's set expectations about what it might actually do. So there's a Reuters report that senior House Democrats and committee aides are discussing hearings, subpoenas, testimony, and demands for financial records. And the goal is figure out, did Donald Trump use presidential power to enrich himself, to enrich his family, his allies, or his donors? The answer is obviously he did, but are there actually going to be consequences? I think that this is a much smarter approach than just announcing another impeachment on day one, which would get short headlines. But then, assuming Democrats don't take the Senate, or even if they do, but don't have a majority, don't have a supermajority, I don't think it'll really go anywhere in the long term. It'll generate short-term headlines, but it won't go much further. What Democrats would be able to do is to make Trump miserable for the full final 2 years of his political life. Now, Democrats did learn during the first Trump term that impeachment will take everything over. And Trump was impeached twice. He was acquitted twice by a Republican-controlled Senate. And then both of those proceedings were used to portray himself as the victim. And when I talked recently about the difference between Trump's first campaign and his third campaign, it was that in the first campaign, he was the powerful person who was going to fix everything. In the third campaign, it was, I need to be your retribution because they've treated me so unfairly. I'm a victim, all of that stuff. This time, I like that Democrats are thinking about starting with the evidence. And if Democrats win the House, they get control of committees. They get power to issue subpoenas, which it sounds so technical, boring. The power to issue subpoenas is massive, to compel testimony, to demand documents, to hold public hearings and pursue contempt proceedings. I've spoken off the record to a bunch of Democratic staffers from some of the highest ranking Democrats. This is not like we might figure out kind of what to do if we win the House. They're planning now. They're being really specific right now. Now, of course, when Democrats do this, the White House is going to delay, they're going to resist, they'll ignore some requests. So they may go around the administration and seek records from private companies that can't hide behind executive privilege. And companies discussed as possible sources of info include Apple, Alphabet, Palantir, Blackstone, BlackRock, all the businesses owned by Elon Musk that have deals in business with the government. And there's no final target list here. And of course, nothing has started. Democrats don't have control of the House at this point in time. But these are all companies that are likely to be accused of some wrongdoing involving the Trump administration if this were to go forward, although nothing has been announced so far. Now, that doesn't mean the companies will be brought down or that they have criminal liability. It's simply they were involved in some way, shape, or form, maybe even just looking the other way while Donald Trump did his stuff. The point of all of this is make Trump miserable. Follow the money. Reconstruct what happened using records that Trump can't control or manipulate, and think about all the areas they can look at. We've got the Department of Homeland Security contracts. We have financing for the ballroom, corporate donations, pay to play, Trump-linked investment vehicles and scams, foreign sovereign wealth funds that are giving money to people in Trump's family like Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff's kids. All of this stuff Democrats have already started laying the groundwork for. And they're starting to make requests to companies and contractors to preserve and provide information. Good. Companies can absolutely ignore the requests for now. When Republicans control the House, Republicans and these companies can ignore those requests. Those become subpoenas if Democrats win, and everything is going to change. But first, really quick, a word from our sponsor. If you Google yourself, you are probably going to find things you would rather not have there, like your addresses, past and present, phone numbers, relatives, jobs you've had, maybe a profile on some site you've never heard of. And the problem is that that can become the public version of you that an employer sees, a colleague or a client, your landlord, your neighbor, maybe somebody you're dating. Our sponsor, Incogni, will help you scrub your digital footprint because Incogni removes your personal information from all of the most notorious databases, the people search sites, the directories, the commercial data broker lists. And Incogni will automatically send removal requests to hundreds of these sites, and they'll just keep following up. If your data comes back, they'll get it removed again. Now, my favorite feature is custom removals with the unlimited plan. If you find your information anywhere online, even in sites not already in their database, you paste the link into Incogni, they will work to get that taken down. You control what people find when they look you up instead of letting these random databases and outdated listings and search results introduce you first. Get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/Pakman with the code Pakman. The link is in the description. Now back to the video. Now, I know a lot of you, I understand, a lot of you are hearing this and you're going, David, this is the same old crap from the people who write and send strongly worded letters and write op-eds. Who gives a damn? The point here is we are going to be in one of two scenarios in 2028. Either MAGA is dead, just dead, and it dies as a political movement, and they go bye-bye as Donald Trump goes and retires in Mar-a-Lago if he lives that long, or Trump is able to continue MAGA either through J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or who knows at this point in time. We just don't know yet. And this 11-year national and really global nightmare, which by 2028 will be 13 years, and by 2029, when that next president is sworn in, would be almost 14 years, continues. Multi-decade. Whether this continues into the 20-year range or we can finally end it and kill it sort of depends on how much of a tizzy Trump is thrown into during his final 2 years of the presidency. So this stuff really matters. Now, I need you to prepare you for something. When Trump ran in 24, he made it very clear, I'm going to seek revenge. We're going to lock people up, absent due process or evidence. We're going to go after them. It's going to be, I'm going to be your retribution and all of this different sort of stuff. We say something different on the left. We say, if there's probable cause to investigate, it should be done. If the investigation turns up evidence that it's criminal, then there should be charges. If there are convictions, there should be punishment in life. But the Republicans are going to say, this is a revenge tour for Democrats. Every attempt to hold people accountable is actually a personal attack. It's motivated by individual animus. But we need to remember that we're talking about due process. And part of that due process is if Democrats take the House, they will have subpoena power. And that is constitutionally afforded to them. They're not only allowed, they are expected to do that. It's a responsibility. It's a duty. They have a constitutional responsibility to oversee the executive branch. So just because Trump has been on a revenge tour for almost 2 years now doesn't mean that if and when Democrats take control of the House and start investigations, it will be Democrats doing revenge. It will be Democrats getting the power to do what the House of Representatives is supposed to do. They will have subpoena power. They will have committee gavels. Trump has spent years avoiding accountability. And depending on what happens in November, in January, this ability to follow the money will finally give the ability to demand answers. And so when we think about, oh, I don't know if I like this candidate or that candidate, every voter gets to decide how they want to vote in their individual races. But the potential to end Trump's presidency in practice simply by taking the House, which seems more likely than not, no matter what happens in the Senate, we don't know by what margin, but by some margin taking the House, this is going to send Trump for a loop. And by the way, I've talked before and we will talk again. If the oversight gets to Trump's family, if it gets to Don Jr., a good kid, nearly 50 years old, if it gets to Barron, who Trump is very protective of, But Barron is increasingly involved in governmental affairs and the crypto scams and suggesting Trump's media tour during the 24 campaign. Trump is going to lose it. And when Trump loses it, he loses the ability to even do anything that the presidency would allow him to do. That's good. We want Trump furious in the residence of the Oval Office of the White House, throwing ketchup at the wall and doing nothing else, because whenever Trump does stuff, legislation, executive orders, whatever, it's bad for the country. So this is a big opportunity. We've got to make sure we don't waste it.